All right, it's episode 7, technically, of our Wrestlechats podcast, talking all things wrestling. Rayman, how are you?
I am fantastic, brother. How are you?
Good, brother. Good to see you.
Good.
Welcome on in, everybody. We're just going to cover a few topics here today that has happened sort of semi-recently in the WWE. This will probably be a fair while after these events have occurred, but we're going to start with how do we feel about Samantha Irving? Leaving WWE to pursue a musical career or whatever she wants to do, and then immediately once she leaves, decides to have a crack at all the fans. What do you think?
So Samantha Irving, I think, for everyone who doesn't know who Samantha Irving is she's a ring announcer.
Yep.
So when everybody comes down to the ring, she's the one with the big...
Chelsea!
Yeah, she does that quite well. With the big voice, she's the one that everybody can sort of link back on it and saying, getting quite emotional of the new undisputed champion being Cody Rhodes and getting choked up while she's doing it. Yep. Cody's always going to be forever grateful for her doing that, because it just made that whole experience so much more better.
Made that moment so much bigger, yeah.
So in saying that, already just like the emotion that she brings to the actual ring announcing, making Cody's moment, doing her thing with that name right there.
Chelsea!
Kareem! So she just creates so much more emotion to it and brings it out. And you can see when Jey Uso's in the ring and she's announcing Jey Uso and Jey Uso's there giving her a bit of a tap because they're friends and they get along it. I'm just going to say that Samantha Irving leaving WWE is a huge, huge mistake and a huge, huge loss. She is so good at her job. Like up there with one of the best that we have ever had doing it inside of the ring at the present moment. Not only is it a mistake for her to leave, but she'll be so missed by all the crowd. I think she only hasn't been there by the time this goes up, might be a lot longer, but by 2 or 3 weeks that she hasn't been there, and within the 2 or 3 weeks she hasn't been there, I miss her greatly. Unbelievably greatly. What about yourself?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's hard because, like, if it's something that if she just wants to, like, leave ring announcing and, like, go do her own thing, then, like, it's a bitter pill to swallow. But, like, yeah, fair enough. Like, go chase your dreams if that's what you really want to do. Like, if she pops up in AEW, I'm just going to be like, oh, for fuck's sake.
I
She's
agree.
Just chasing money. That's
I agree,
That'll
yes.
piss me off. And then I think a lot of WWE fans will really get after her.
Really turn. But in saying that, her husband has now, Ricochet, gone to AEW. So if she does go over to AEW, not only will it leave a bad taste in everybody's mouth, but on the other side of the pillow, you can understand why she's there and wants to be with her husband a bit more. But I think I'd be on that bad side and saying, nah, you did us dirty and you've gone over to the competition.
If her contract ran out and she just decided to not re-sign, I kind of get it. But if she's asked to be released and then does that, then I'd be dirty too. She's been replaced by the other greatest women's ring announcer, Lillian Garcia.
Yes.
I think that's probably like an idea from Triple H to go like, Lillian was so good back in the day, and she was so good for so long.
Yep.
Perfect replacement?
I would say perfect replacement in terms of she already knows it. So Trips doesn't have to come in and teach someone brand new for the whole thing, the game, the travel, the whatever she needs to do. Triple H just be like, do you want to come back to work? She says yes. Trips is just like, no worries. There you are. There's your spot. I don't need to do anything around you. You know your job.
I saw a clip with LA Knight, and he was like, I know you haven't been around for a while. And so she said, from Los Angeles, California, LA Knight. And then after the match, he was like, I know you haven't been around for a while, but, when you say my name, you need to add a little something on the end there.
Yeah.
And she was like, gotcha. LA Knight, yeah. And I was like, that's sick. I love that
that's
shit.
so good.
So, yeah, I think she's a great replacement. But, yeah, I will miss Samantha. She was very, very good at what she did. And, yeah, hopefully she has a very good time recording her music. It's tough. I just don't want to see her in AEW in 2 months.
Yeah, it would just be a bit of a pity. I think this now is sort of a good segue to move on to people leaving WWE.
For AEW?
For AEW, yes. So as of, I think probably about a week or 2 weeks ago, since we are now recording this, we have now seen that Bobby Lashley has made his appearance and AEW. He's then gone up and confronted Swerve Strickland. I don't think that's his name anymore in AEW, but that's what I know him as. Is it? Swerve? Okay, yep. So anyway, he's gone in and he's confronted Swerve. And then he's actually done the big old spine buster and dropped him down too. He's teamed back up with MVP, and he's teamed back up
Bringing
with
back Shelton Benjamin.
Shendon Benjamin. So the
Shendon Benjamin?
Shelton Benjamin.
Shelton Benjamin.
Shelton Benjamin. So bringing back sort of the Hurt business in a certain way.
Yeah, which I don't mind. They were a cool faction.
They were a
I
cool
like
faction.
them.
But thoughts, not only thoughts on Bobby, but thoughts on just the the transition from WWE to AEW so quickly. Like,
I'm over it. I'm over seeing people like and like I get it. Like, it's another wrestling company, and they're the second biggest wrestling company in the world. So it's really the only other option unless you go to TNA or New Japan. But I'm over contracts running out and dudes just immediately going to AEW. And then what happens? They go to AEW, they have 3 good matches, and then they do nothing for another 9 months. Like,
Edge,
you look
perfect
at
example.
Edge, Miro, like, there's only a select few that have actually gone there and been able to do stuff that's worked out. Like, yeah, Ricochet probably might be able to do a lot more over there because he has those matches that fan base love.
Yes.
Where no storytelling, but they just have absolutely banger matches.
Yes.
He's already wrestled Will Ospreay, and that was just insane. I'm over it. Bobby Lashley there, though, if it's a storyline thing and he goes to, like, recreate the Hurt Locker, I think that's what they're called now.
Yeah.
The Hurt Locker or whatever. Like it. I think that's okay. I think if there's storyline stuff behind it, but if you're just going to go there and have random matches and then disappear, why would you bother?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. On the other sort of hand, I do understand if guys aren't getting used up in WWE, if you're not in the spotlight, so to speak, you do get pushed and forgotten about. So if you can go to AEW where they've got just as much money, but they said they're going to put the spotlight back on you for the first 3 matches. If you do go through the roof, then we'll keep you going back in again. I do understand why guys do want to do that, especially if they love the actual industry. But to me, being a real loyal WWE fan, I kind of feel like it's a bit of a punch in the gut. Every time that they do transition from WWE to a few weeks later, AEW. I don't think it'd be fair for WWE to put something in their contract to lock him in, to not make him go over. But I think just like on a personal level, Bobby Lashley has done a lot with WWE. Bobby Lashley has done heaps throughout the years with WWE, and they keep bringing him back. He's had such big spots. He's had such good spots. I kind of thought the loyalty from Bobby Lashley would be a little bit more better than just going straight over to the competition.
And he was WWE champion only a couple of years ago as well.
That he was, yeah. And he always had big spots. I mean, we saw him in an Elimination Chamber. That came to Perth, which we were there at the there at the time. So to me, it kind of hurts the soul. And I believe it's a bit of a punch in the gut, these guys going over there. On another sort of professional level, I do get it.
I get it. You need a job. You need a job.
I get it. Yeah.
But yeah, he had a very successful TNA run as well. So he was a TNA world champion. So he's done the WWE thing now. He's been WWE champion. Maybe he wants to try and win the AEW world title and have all 3. I don't know. Don't know what his future there will be, but he's a quality performer. He's a great athlete, and I think he's the kind of dude that I don't think will fade away into the darkness.
Yes.
I think someone more like a Ricochet may, but again, he still has those banger matches that crowd loves.
Yeah, do we want to say good luck to Bobby Lashley, but then on my other hand, I want to say bad luck to Bobby Lashley. I don't know, it's a hard one at times.
He'll be okay, I reckon.
Yep.
Speaking of punch to the guts, a couple of releases over the last little while in WWE. Baron Corbin, for me, and Indy Hartwell as well, another Australian getting let go. But I found that one really hard to come to terms with. Baron Corbin. I thought, like, the stuff he was doing at the start of the year with Bron Breakker and NXT was, like, elite television.
So good. So good. Not only funny, but, like, they had the serious moments. They had their own feuds. What he did with Bron Breakker was one of the best, I think, stuff that Baron's been doing in such a long time. It's just a pity that it got cut so short because Breakker had to step up, which I understand. Breakker eventually had to go to the main roster, but then it just left Baron in this sort of spot of,
but then they put Baron Corbin on SmackDown and never used him.
Never used him. They put him with Apollo for maybe 1 or 2 matches.
Yeah, why?
But, like, they didn't use him as in, like, it didn't go anywhere. It was no storyline. It didn't lead to anything. It was just like, oh yeah, Baron Corbin's fighting, but why? For what purpose?
He's been given so much crap, and turned it into like good stuff. Like
Yes.
King Corbin,
Yeah.
Happy Corbin, Sad
Yeah.
Corbin, like
Broke Corbin at one stage.
like
that was
just
funny. That was good.
weird shit that he got given that he actually made it into good stuff. We don't know the details behind it, but maybe he asked for his release because he wasn't getting used at all, and that's another one. Like I don't really want to see him pop up in AEW. Like
I do not.
I like him. He's a WWE guy in my head.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really liked him, and I really enjoyed the work he did with Bron Breakker. And I thought maybe that could have been like a main roster thing. Those two. Like the Wolf Dogs was awesome.
The Wolf Dogs could have come
and their
back
chemistry
eventually.
was funny, and they worked well as a tag team.
Yeah.
And, I don't know. Kick in the gut.
Yeah.
Seeing him leave.
Not only was he such a great heel, he just came across as like a real arrogant, like naturally arrogant heel that you just love to hate. But at the same time, when he did that comedic role, he did it so well.
Yeah.
His in-ring style was fantastic, and how safe he was so good. I'm obviously going to put him on the same par as Kane. He was such a big guy, but he was always safe.
And could always do anything as well. Like anything he was asked to do, he could do it.
He did it so, and he had matches with Roman Reigns where he was pouring dog food over him. That made it work. His end of days, his finishing move was safe and always done just so well.
Yeah. I remember that last man standing match they had at the Royal Rumble in like 2021. That was unreal.
Yeah.
That was such a good match.
Yeah, but then like on the other sort of professional level, you sort of go, what do we do with you next? Where do we take you? You've gone to NXT. You've got your hand in that pot. You've done what you needed to do. You've then gone with Bron Breakker. You've hit the top of the tops. You've done so well. We'll push him up. We'll push you up. You sort of fall flat, but then what do we do with you after that? Because he's just gone on such a roller coaster of a ride. But I just felt like there was so much more left for Baron Corbin. And I feel really, really sad for him too, that he has gone from the company that he's been with for, geez, I don't know, 10 years, maybe more?
Close to, I think like 2014 or 15 he debuted.
Yeah.
So a while.
Yeah.
Like a fair while. Won Money in the Bank, didn't cash in. Did he cash in on a US title? I can't remember. Or he lost his briefcase either way. Just thought he deserved more. When he won the Money in the Bank, I definitely thought it was the right decision not to win the world title then. But in between now and then, he's done some really good work. Sad to see Indy go too. Another Australian.
Yeah. So she's an Aussie. That's we found out the news a little while ago that she definitely got the flick too. Sad.
After wrestling on SmackDown like a day ago.
Yes.
Pre-taped. But still, like, wow.
Yeah.
Right. She was literally just there.
Yeah, she was literally just. I kind of understand it from that point of view a little bit, because she didn't connect very well with the SmackDown or the main roster audience, and you need to connect quite well with them. Her tag partner seems to be connecting quite well with the audience, being the Speed Champion, but Indy just never really kicked it off. Some of Indy's best work, and I think she could have, not should have, but could have gone back to NXT to give the NXT champion a good run for her money. I think that would have been great.
Yeah, her and Roxanne Perez would have had a banger.
Well, they would have had a banger, absolute banger. But I do get it on another professional level, because NXT is where they're bringing up new talent, where I'm going to say foster new talent and to bring it in again. Indy just getting knocked back down a peg and doing her thing right there, it just would sort of fall flat.
Yeah, going back down too quick would be detrimental to her, I think.
Very much so. In my eyes, I don't want Indy to give up in any way, shape or form. I'd love her to go to a TNA, or love her to go to another company besides AEW and do her thing in the indies for quite some time to build up a new character and then come back in a Royal Rumble and get another run. Yep. I'm hoping Trips hasn't just given up on Indy. I hope he's just going to say, do your thing for a couple of years and then come back, and then we'll see how we go again.
Yep.
So this was just her first taste of WWE. Go learn who you are.
Yep, I like that. And go away, get better, and come back.
Yeah.
And make it like Cody, like undeniable. You have to pick me. I'm a future champion of whatever. Like, yeah, make it so that they can't be too loud that they can't ignore you, sort of thing.
Yes, absolutely.
Cool. Jey Uso lost his IC title. Again, this is going to come out a lot later after he did lose it. But we were thinking when he won it, he was potentially going to have a decent run, and he only had it for 28 days.
Oh, yeah, it was.
What's your thoughts?
I once again, I was very much so. I want to see Jey go as far as he possibly can and maybe even lose it at Mania. To who, I don't really know. Jay is doing such phenomenal work for the whole company. It's not even funny now. Merchandise-wise, his ring attire-wise, Yeet is just huge. Probably not even in the WWE universe, but throughout the whole world now.
It reminds me of Daniel Bryan 10 years ago doing Yes.
Yes.
Everybody's getting around it. Everyone loves it.
Is huge. His entrance is just phenomenal now, how the whole crowd gets behind it. Everybody is loving this guy for finally putting a title on his waist was something that he deserved.
Yes.
And he fought hard for it. And the thing is, he deserved it. He fought hard for it, and he did it by himself.
Yep.
And that could have been one of the most proudest moments of a fan, a WWE fan, to see a guy slugging it out for so long and finally getting that reward of putting a title on you. So then for him to get that title reign cut so short, because he's then getting back into the picture of the bloodline stuff.
Did they do it too soon?
I think they did.
Yeah.
I didn't want to see that. I mean, I do get the whole Survivor Series where they would do new bloodline versus old bloodline, Roman Reigns coming back into the picture, Jimmy coming back into the picture, but I really didn't want Jay getting pulled back into it. I wanted Jimmy to come out over to Jay and say, hey, mate, you're doing such a good job. We're really, really proud of you, but we need your help. And Jay just basically holding up the title and just going, nah, I'm on Raw, or I'm nowhere with you guys. Leave me alone. Yeet, and then turn around and go away. And then just WWE go down a different path of the guys that they could have used.
It took 2 weeks to get him back in the bloodline after a year of him fighting with Roman and Jimmy. Way too quick for my liking.
Way too quick.
I like the idea of the Bloodline War Games match.
Yep.
Did we need to have the match at Crown Jewel? Probably not.
Nah, I don't.
We could have just had Roman versus Solo 1-on-1.
Yeah.
And had interference.
Yep.
Instead of a 3-on-3 tag. I didn't like it as much as I thought I was gonna, and I think they should have waited for a big tag.
Yes.
At Survivor Series, that would have given us another 4.5 weeks of them and 2 shows a week. Trying to get Jay back into the bloodline.
Yep.
That would have given it way more time. No, leave me alone. I'm going back for the IC title. I'm going to get it back.
Yep.
Get screwed over again. And then Sammy maybe gets involved a little bit. And then you just have it build up a bit more. It was like, won the IC title, defended it once, lost it, and now I'm back in the bloodline. I was like, hang on, what?
So, yeah.
Whoa, that was quick.
Didn't you just get rid of those guys?
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden you pulled back into those guys.
Last April just gone, you just helped get rid of him. What's going on around here?
What's going on here? I'm pretty sure you just speared your brother off of the stage at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
He disappeared, and now he comes back and goes, nah, I love you, mate. Let's do this thing again. And then they hug within a week of talking to each other.
It's a bit quick.
It's too quick. It's too quick, and it's not right for WWE to rush something so quickly.
Yeah.
Although I did see the SmackDown where they did mend things again, and once again, it's some of the best cinema that you're gonna see out there. Because you know their family, you know their actual real life brothers. So them linking back up again was a real type of moment. But in the back of my mind, it was always too soon. Jay deserves better. Jay deserves so much more.
Jay saying to Roman either you have to yeet kind of thing. That was good. I like that he kind of had to bite his tongue and do it. But still, no apology from Roman.
Nothing yet.
And there's still that little bit of headbutting too, in the tag match at Crown Jewel. Didn't tag in Roman.
Yeah.
Tagged in Jimmy instead. And Jimmy's going, what are you doing, man? We're meant to be a team.
Yep.
So I liked a bit of friction there, and I think that needs to stay because it was rushed. So just don't come in and everything's all sunshines, daisies and stuff like that. It's got to be a bit hard. And make us sort of work for it. I think that, keep button heads for a while. And then I wouldn't be too mad at seeing Jay turn on Roman eventually.
I wouldn't be mad at that either. I mean, we saw it at Crown Jewel. There was that thing where Roman was still like that, trying to boss around Jay, and Jay pushed back. Yeah. So maybe does Roman push too much? And then Jay goes, no, hang on a second. I remember this stuff that you used to do to me back in the day. Boom, hits him with the spear.
Yeah.
It's a storyline that they could go down as amongst the many twists and turns that you can go down with the bloodline. But to just bring it back to Jay as an individual, rushed it. Too much. Deserved better. Feel sad for the guy. understand why they're doing it, but I feel sad for the guy.
Yep.
He deserves so much more.
I agree. And I don't want to see the Usos back as a tag team either.
Not just
I want
yet.
Jay on his own for like another 6 months to a year at least.
Yep.
Because he's putting on good matches too.
Great
And
matches.
he's so over.
So over.
Behind Cody and Roman, he's probably the third most over dude in the company.
I agree. I totally agree.
Then maybe LA Knight slightly underneath him.
Yeah.
It's like he's super, super over.
Yep.
And yeah, leave him on his own.
Yep. If he doesn't turn on Roman, if he doesn't hit the spear, then once the whole bloodline thing is over with and they do defeat the new bloodline and so on and so forth, I would like Jay to stand up and say, I'm doing my thing now. I've done what I need to do. I've defended the family. I do what I need to do. I'm now going to Raw. You guys stay on SmackDown. Nah, but Jay, nah. I'm done. And go off once again, like you said, do his own thing for 8 to 10 to a year, and then eventually maybe bring back the Usos later on down the track. I don't want to see that too quickly. Jay deserves more.
He does.
He does.
And there's a reason they call him Main Event Jay is because, and it wasn't like a gimmick that they slapped on him as a joke. Like, people genuinely really, really like him, and he's putting on good work, good matches, good promos. People get behind the whole yeet. It's kind of like the what chant. Like every time he says something, yeet, and then the whole crowd will do it. I don't know. It just works. The whole thing works, and they got to keep going with it. So,
it does.
Don't cut it short. Speaking of future world champs, you and I are going to have a little speculation game here. 2 future world champions, that haven't had a world title yet. You can go first, then me, then you, then me if you want.
Yeah.
But I want to know, and let us know in the comments below who you think is going to be a future world champion. It can be a man or woman, but take us away. What do you think? Who do you think's a future world champion and why?
Obafemi.
Wow, okay.
Obafemi. I'm just going to say that straight away.
Straight to NXT, okay.
The man is an absolute beast. Everything that he's doing in NXT, he's just annihilating people. He has matches with 2 other big guys and still picks up 2 other big guys at the same time. His entrance, the way he walks, the way he handles himself in the ring, everything about his presence, to me, just reeks champion, but reeks a real dominant, undefeatable champion. I don't want to say Brock Lesnar-esque, but I'm definitely going to say not far from that.
Yep.
Obviously wrestle a lot more than what Brock did because that's just Brock's character. That's what he did. But Oba is there just to be such a dominant presence and such a big man that he could definitely do these things. Yep. You can see him stepping up in the ring against guys, Jey Uso, that are a little bit smaller, and him just towering over the top of them with the belt behind him and holding it up and saying, you little man are going to try to take this off me. It's just a huge world of opportunity of what you can do.
For you, world title match, Bronson Reed versus Oba.
Wow.
Last man standing.
Wow.
I don't know. How good would that be?
Well, we know that Bronson could bring it because he's done stuff with
Braun.
Braun Strowman. So we know that Bronson can do that.
How
So
good would that
these
be?
are the same thing. Even Oba against Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
So the 2 monsters going at it. But
Fuck
these
it, make
guys,
it a triple threat.
These guys,
Make it a triple threat.
Sharpy. These guys are like athletic guys at the same time.
Yeah.
These guys aren't just sort of run to the ropes, get hit, fall down on the ground, get up and do a choke slam. These guys can actually go. They can do drop kicks.
Yeah.
They can jump off the top rope. The guys and the monsters that are slowly bringing themselves up in WWE now are athletic monsters.
Yeah.
These guys are professionals before they even come to WWE.
Yeah, that's right.
And then get taught how to wrestle safely.
Proper athletes.
Proper athletes before they come to WWE.
Yep.
So when they come to WWE, they just go to that next level. And the thing is, with the younger talent that's slowly going there, the younger talent are just moving up, moving that needle more and more and more.
Yep.
So that would be my first. I don't know when, maybe in the next
It doesn't have
3
to be.
to 5 years.
Yeah. Plenty of time.
But no time soon. He's in the NXT roster right now.
I rate
He
that
needs to
highly.
stay there for the next 2 years.
That's a great pick.
You're Sharpy.
Well, yours. This won't surprise you, but I already said it earlier tonight. My number 1 would be Dominic Mysterio.
Dominic, and deserves it. Why?
Well, probably the MVP of 2023. Wrestled the most matches.
Yep.
And just put on some of the best work. In 1 week, did SmackDown, Raw, and NXT. That was
Main
just
events.
insane. And won the North American Championship. I love the work that he puts on. He's such a good slimy sleazeball heel.
Yeah.
You just want to grab him by his hair and just crack the shit out
Dirty
of him.
Dom, and he suits it so well.
He suits it so well, and I think that he's like perfect
for everything.
Good morning. Okay. All right, sorry, we had a slight interruption. I think Dominic's like perfect to win like a Money in the Bank.
Yes.
He won't win King of the Ring. He won't win a Royal Rumble. I reckon if you're going to put a briefcase on somebody and you let him have it for like 10 months.
Yeah.
Just slime ball, like always like lurking in the background with his briefcase and shit.
Yeah.
I just think, and then the most like, let's say there is a babyface that like we want to win the title from, let's say it's Gunther or whoever in the future. And then he just comes right in and pinches it off him. And it's just like, oh, you son of a...
Yeah, even winning the Money in the Bank, if it's like everyone just gets dropped out from one big hit, and then all of a sudden this sleazy little Dom comes into the ring and pushes up a ladder, you know the whole reaction of the crowd's going to be like, no, don't you do it. And he's going to get halfway up the ladder and stop and look around. The crowd's going to be like, no. Gets to the top of the ring. No. Like, it just goosebumps him thinking about it, and then he just takes it off. And like, you slime ball. Get out of it.
Even like, he's like out of it, like Carlito puts him on his shoulders. And like Carlito climbs the ladder for him while Dominic's on his shoulders, grabs a thing. Just some sleazy, crappy way to win it.
It's going to be good. The man is,
might not be next year, might be the year after, but like the year he's had again this year has been so good. He's just, I don't know, he keeps proving himself. He really is his father's son.
He really is.
Really good. It's in his blood. So yeah, that's my number one pick. What's your second
But
pick?
I just want to say, like, even Finn Balor has said it with Dom's nuclear heat that he brings. For how good of a heel he is, it's silly not to put it on him. So I couldn't agree with you anymore, Sharpy. It's fantastic. My second pick, which is a guy that I don't think gets enough credit for how good he is, is Montez Ford.
Wow.
I don't know if he would be...
like open to a singles push?
Well, I think he would be open to a singles push because he has had matches against Roman before. He did have a match there. You can see that sometimes in the tag team division that he's in, he just stands out. The sky, the jump into the heavens or whatever it is, that just is a huge standout of a move that he does. How athletic he is, how easily he springs up is fantastic. I do want to see a world title on him, but I do want to see an intercontinental title or anything like that for him to slowly make his progression. It annoys me that the guy is so talented and so good and is just stuck in the tag team division.
I agree wholeheartedly with that.
I don't want him to part ways or turn on the whole Street Profits thing. I do like that. I would rather prefer him just do something like, hey, I'm just going to go do me for a bit. You just go do you for a bit. So even if they have the brand split or like the draft pick, Montez Ford, you're going to SmackDown. Everybody else is just going to Raw. Then they do the whole standoff and look around at each other, hug each other out, and then they both split off when it comes to the camera. And then we slowly get Montez Ford to come back into it. Montez Ford, I believe, was in an elimination chamber only a couple of years ago as well and just stood out, which is an absolute standout to the extent where Triple H even afterwards was like, Montez Ford just blew the roof off the place. He was so good. The man deserves a push, and I think that push needs to be sooner than later. That's just my second pick right there.
I like it. I think that's a great shout, and I agree. He's stuck in a tag team. The Street Profits were good when they were with like the Hurt Business, and they did have a good little run there. Either give them the tag titles or don't. Like, make up your mind. It's
I totally agree.
You can't just have it one way or the other.
Second pick, Sharpy. Go for it.
I've sort of said this one before as well, but I still think Jey Uso needs to win a world title.
Okay. How?
Yeah, it's a hard one.
I've got a very good prediction, which I think would make a lot of sense on that.
Mine would be defeats Solo Sikoa for the world title.
Okay.
At some stage, I don't know how. Do I see him winning a Royal Rumble? Probably not.
Yes.
Do you?
Yes. Yeet. I do see him winning a Royal Rumble.
Okay.
Because of the simple fact of how over he is at the present moment. Guys that are so over always win the Royal Rumble, which they always have the last couple of years. Cody's still been over. Drew McIntyre was over when he did it as well. Edge, when he came back, was a bit of a surprise, but it was still so over as well. I think Jey Uso is ready to get that Royal Rumble win to then the whole crowd get behind him. who he challenges or who he takes on to win the World Heavyweight Championship, undisputed, whatever, I don't know. That one I'm really not too sure. We've seen him go up against Gunther. We haven't really seen him go up against Cody in a real heavy match.
Yeah.
Maybe even Cody turning heel, like you've said before, against Jay. Who knows? But I think Jay would be Royal Rumble material.
I was thinking maybe like Money in the Bank or King of the Ring, maybe just to add some more prestige on that. But yeah, the points you make are pretty good. And the more I think about it, it's, I like the idea of him coming up against, I want him to come up against someone that's either, depends if he's either a babyface or a heel. If he's a babyface and we're still riding this wave like a year from now, 2026, give him the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. Yep.
Because Punk's winning 2025.
You
heard it here first.
Yeah, it's probably going to happen. Probably going to happen.
Even if he doesn't, that's fine. But yeah, I think Jay at some stage should win a world title.
Yeah. Yep.
Jimmy, no.
I don't think so, because
I don't even know if he wants to. He just seems like the kind of dude that's like happy doing what he's doing.
I think so. Yeah,
I feel like
sort
Jay
of like
really has that single push and.
For sure.
Yeah.
And he does it a lot more. So like to me, Jimmy's doing this still like, we are the ones or they not the ones. So he's still trying to hold on to that bloodline thing where Jay's completely separated himself.
Check it out, I'm Yeet. I'm the Yeet man.
Totally different. Yeah. Totally different. And it's working and he's doing so well. Yeah. The whole world's so proud of him. Come on, guys, give him that title already.
Give him just give him the world title. It doesn't have to be the WWE title. You know, I'd happily see him. Maybe he beats Gunther.
Oh, wow.
Maybe Gunther holds on to it for another year and then
finally gets it done, with a little bit of help of maybe Sammy coming in or something. I don't know, something like that. Who knows? Who knows?
If he's a bad guy, then you can have interference. You know, I don't know. Let us know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Let us know what you guys think of our world title future winners and who would you pick as well. All right, guys, we will see you in the next episode next Friday. Thank you for watching. Bye for now. Peace.